So, in response to the alleged incident that occurred at my house on December 31st, 2016, I'm going to attempt to go through some of the theories about what happened to Brian Pierce's head. A number of theories have been brought up, including Brian fell down while sleepwalking into the side of the couch, or Brian put his head in my oven in the midst of sleepwalking, I suppose, or that he decided to style his hair and burnt his head with a curling iron. In terms of other theories, I'm not sure, but these three to me seem the most plausible, and there's one other that I will bring up that's the least likely, I think. But we'll start with the oven, which was the first thing I said when I saw Brian's head in the morning, as I offered him coffee and burn cream and asked what the heck happened to his forehead. So, as I noted on Facebook, I am a very irresponsible chef, and I have been known to turn on pans and leave the kitchen for hours, or leave the oven on for a good 24 hours after cooking a meal. So, here is my vintage 65 oven. It's a double-decker. It's very snazzy. I've never used this one for anything but storage. And earlier, I had cooked something in the oven before people came over. And so my idea was that Brian came in and, see, I leave dirty pans. This is not on right now, but it is still hot. The knobs come off, so it's possible that I was trying to be responsible and I turned it off, but it didn't actually happen. And I believe that maybe Brian was looking for food in the middle of the night, perhaps, and stumbled over the tray that you bump into as you're going to my vintage oven, and kapoof, right? Okay, so that's theory number one. And the burn, I'm just thinking, and it would just it's so greasy and bits of chicken and who knows what was cooked into his forehead when he fell into my oven. If that is incorrect, and Brian was not either trying to off himself or eat something from my oven, which may or may not have been on in the middle of the night on New Year's Eve 2017, the other theory is that he fell into the corner of the couch. So, here is where Amy slept. She slept right here. Amy is always the first one to fall asleep. But at some point, she made Brian a pallet right there. So because Amy was the first one to sleep, and yet Amy put Brian to bed, at some point, she woke up and realized Brian needed to be put to bed. And I think it's because Brian fell face first into the corner of my couch, which we will observe has studs and a very sharp seam and edge all the way down. And so I think that this is what Brian did. I'm going to try to make this as first-person point of view as I can. I think he was walking in, and he was not feeling too good, and kapoof. And voila. And I think that disturbance woke Amy up from her princess slumber on my very comfortable couch. And she said, "You need to go night-night." And she grabbed some blankets from my basket of blankies. That's a basket of blankies. And she put him to bed. Okay, so that's theory number 2. Theory number 3, Brian styled his hair. Well, that is possible because, like every responsible mother or homeowner, in the guest bathroom, which is sometimes clean, you have certain necessities stored for guests or for yourself in the cabinet. Things they might really need when they come over. And so if Brian came in here, he would see that there is, well, you can't see, but I'll tell you, there's a pair of socks in there, unmatched towels, an empty box of Band-Aids, and a curling iron. And so while this curling iron was not brought out, left out on New Year's Eve, it is available. And maybe Brian is such a responsible house guest that after he burned his forehead curling his hair, he put it away and went back to bed. which I appreciate. It's very nice of you. And due to the fact that the available box of Band-Aids was empty, he just had to suffer through the burn. So my last theory, which I don't really think holds any water, however, we will take a trip outside to look at the candlesticks.